So we told you about this yesterday. A model says that she was kidnapped by a gang of criminals who attempted to sell her on the dark web.
This is such a scary situation. It sounds like it's out of a movie, and it's not. This happened after model Chloe Ailing arrived in Milan for a photo shoot. This was a shoot that was booked legitimately through her agent, but she was lured to a fake set. So this morning we are discussing the dangers of the dark web and what you need to know. Shelly Palmer here now to break this all down for us. Shelly,
we had a lot of questions about this yesterday.
We have so many. First of all, I didn't know that something like this really happened. You hear about this in the movies, but the way that this whole thing went down?
So, you know how you get those emails every day that say, get your site to the top of Google. Right? You see that spam constantly coming in. People are trying to help you get found in search engines. Well, there is another side of that, which is never be found by a search engine. And there are two other layers of the internet, and actually there are more, but there are two main layers of the internet below that people never think about. One is the deep web, where sites just don't show up in search engines, and that can be incredibly innocent and on purpose for a banking site or a special page, or you can make mistakes and you don't have Google find you because you haven't made your site properly or according to guidelines. Then there's a level below that that is referred to as the dark web. And here's where you are intentionally scattering encrypted stuff all over the universe in various file formats and doing such a good technical job of hiding with encrypted tools that nobody can find you. And it's there that a lot of sites that will ask for ransom, that will let's say, be the bastion of money launderers and sex traffickers live. And it's referred to as the dark web because it is intentionally underground and very encrypted. A lot of the terrorism issues that we talk about happen there. You need to know where a site is. You need to be invited in and have the appropriate credentials to access the site. So there are currencies, cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, and there are about 700 currencies like that are digital currencies. And so if you're on the dark web and you ask for ransom in a cryptocurrency, which is not traceable,
That's what they did here.
You have a completely anonymous transaction that cannot be traced. It's as if somebody from some alien from outer space said, "Give me money," and you imagined some money and you sent it, but it's real money and they're real people. They're not from outer space. They're on the dark web, and it's real.
So let's say, all right, they wanted $300,000,
in Bitcoin.
In Bitcoin
yes.
to that. So let's say the agent was contacted and reports this to the authorities. The authorities can't really get to them that quickly?
Look, there are 17 security agencies in the national security community and plus local law enforcement. It's impossible to know what their capabilities are on any given day because this is an arms race. For every day that the bad guys go deeper underground, we have tools to go underground as well. And so there are some people who think they're on the dark web and they're very easily found even by tools you can find on the internet. Then there are super bad guys who are in this arms race with law enforcement and the security community who are trying to be hidden. The whole purpose that you use a cryptocurrency and why people are so sort of skeptical about Bitcoin and why it has a bad name is for all the good uses you can do with a cryptocurrency, like have a ride-sharing economy where people could quickly and easily, give money to one another digitally. There's this whole dark side, but it's totally anonymous, like cash, only you can't have fingerprints and it doesn't have serial numbers, and so it's just an anonymous transaction. And people are like, why should there be anonymous cash transactions?
Then why can't you shut down the dark web?
It's not shut downable because it's distributed across the entire world.
So is the internet.
It's distributed on the internet in a way you can't find it across the entire world.
Unless you get an invitation.
Unless you are invited, know where it is, or have credentials. Welcome to the dark web. It's at shellypalmer.com. In fact, what's interesting is I have an article this week about blockchain, and it's called Nuber, the end of Uber and a new economy. So
once you get into the dark web, can you get out?
Of course. It's not a prison. It's just a place you can go to hide.
I don't know. It
and
sounds
a lot
like
of people do.
the upside down world in Stranger Things.
Much to read. Google dark web and darknet. They're two different things, and deep web, which of course is the better part.
All right, Shelly.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, 6:20 on your Tuesday morning. We've got more coming up.